Hey everybody, it's Steve back in the shop again. Just want to make a real quick video. I was telling you the other day when I got to the water pump here, I'd be making a video and show you, give you some pointers on it. I got the radiator taken off. Pretty straightforward. They're kind of a pill. These pins are notorious for breaking off up inside the radiators. This particular one here, I guess you can see that it's been welded or soldered up into the bottom of the tank there. So I don't think that'll be giving me any more problems. It didn't leak, so I'll probably end up cleaning it up and putting it back on. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. This, first I'll say I am a dyed-in-the-wool international harvester guy. Always have been, always will be. But this is one of the stupidest designs I've ever seen in my life. They overcomplicated a simple water pump and turned it into some kind of a engineering, well, I ain't gonna say a cluster, you know what, but anyway. You've got a wedge bolt that slips down in this hole right here. If you see that taper end on that, this, once you drive this out of the hole, this driver comes off. You'll notice there's a slot there that when you drive this wedge bolt back through that other driver, you can see, hopefully you can see, it wedges against this slot. And as you tighten it down, you'll notice that, find the camera here, you'll notice that the wedge gets smaller and smaller as it gets toward the top. That will tighten this piece against the shaft. Anyway, it's got some springs which are useless. This, I've already kind of, bear with me here, I've already kind of cheated a little bit. And I took the other two bolts out and loosened these up. It's a kind of a crazy looking deal here. Like I say, why they didn't just make a straightforward water pump instead of going through all this baloney is beyond me. But I guess it's the same reason they had a direct start diesel in the UK, in IH UK, but they were making them stupid start on gas, switch to diesel engines here. So anyway, all right, this comes off. You'll notice this is your actual packing nut. I've got a tool which I neglected to get before I started making this. A spanner wrench that hooks in these holes, which will take this off. Now I'm not going to reuse this pump. I've got another one. I don't know if you can, let me get back here where you can see. If you can see this, probably kind of hard to catch. The bearings in this pump are pretty much wore out. I got no beef with it other than the fact it's just worn out. And I don't know, somebody did a hack job on this pulley. I don't know what that was all about, but this kind, when you tighten these up, you're supposed to line these up with this slot, and you run the screw into the slot, which locks it, so that this doesn't move back and forth. Countless times I found them that weren't, but that's the best way to go. I've actually seen these things completely missing. I've seen them broken off, and it's nothing in the world but just a plain old bolt if it comes right down to it. If you want to get real fancy, you can take a bolt, cut that off, and take a hacksaw and make you a slot in it and reproduce this. But this should technically be inside that. Obviously the belt's kind of crappy here. I'm going to be replacing this. There's a rubber hose. Now this is your thermostat housing, two-piece. Your thermostat sits in between here. A lot of guys over the years you're going to find there's a lot of tractors out there with that thermostat missing. I've actually done it. I've got a couple that don't have it. But there's a reason that they want these engines to run at a particular temperature. Some of it has to do with condensation. There's 2 or 3 other factors. If you're interested in it, you might want to Google that, or DuckDuckGo it or whatever makes you happy. But I'm going to be taking all this junk off. I'm going to replace this pump. It's real simple, 4 bolts, 2 on either side. There's supposed to be hose clamps here. There's some kind of a wire, an old-fashioned wire type of a hose clamp on this particular tractor. Let me come around to the side. Just, well, I stand corrected. It's an actual, this is a different tractor. It had the wire type on it. This has got the standard screw type clamps. So anyway, if you'll notice, these pumps have alamites or grease zerks, whatever makes you happy there. That way you can oil. There's a seal in these. Keep the seal greased. It's a real convoluted pump system. But some folks will probably argue with me that it's great and all like that. I think it's rather overblown myself. They could have just made a simple pump and been done with it. They did later on. But you have to give them a break. This is 1930s technology, so, you know, this is all still new. And anyway, that's where I'm at for now. I get all this mess off and start to cleaning it up and take the pumps apart. I'll end up, the pump that I'm going to put back on here, I'll take it apart and put new seals in it. I'll show you that too. So anyway, thanks for watching.